outside, and he said, I have a baby grand piano at home that nobody uses. I wonder if you'd be interested. This room used to have a funky little digital keyboard, you know, that perfectly workable, but that's what we accompanied on when the kids were practicing. Then we go upstairs and do concerts on a proper instrument, our Steinway. But this beautiful old Mason and Hamlin was a gift just a couple, 3 years ago.
That's so funny that would be a feature that you from Center God.
I'm sorry?
It would be so funny that I would see a feature writing from Center God.
He is, since I've been down here.
Where's Mr. Susie?
He's still here, you know.
Is he really?
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't sure if there was still any pictures left from that I remember. And almost as a blank just retired not too long ago.
She retired 3 years ago, and Dick is still here. He's the chair of the PE department. Sorry? Yes? Okay, sure, right? So,
You're evil.
what can I tell you? This is the reason why so many of you did not become NCAA basketball. Well, the funny thing about our sports programs, which actually, you know, have had a lot of success over the years, right? And it's kind of goes in waves, but there are balls up there in the case in the main floor, you know, that commemorate beating Bangor High in football. And when Bob Sidwick was the coach, we were just referring to Bob. You know, Bob invented the slow down offense, and he would beat people 11 to 10 in basketball. But the, you know, lots of success in particular sports. Lately it's been football and ice hockey, field hockey, cross-country track, I would say. And the fact that this is the one and only gym means that we've got to use facilities all over the area, you know, for these talented athletes to play their matches and practice. So we think we will, you probably know this, Joe, but I think we'll be in the cross-section for several of our home basketball games. So the beautiful new Bangor auditorium will be very nice. And baseball's out at Hudson University, which has a beautiful Lincoln baseball complex. Football at Cameron Stadium, we share that with Bangor High. New stands going up there right now. New lights. The great thing about the renovation, you know this, the renovation of Cameron Field got a little confused on the calendar. And a month before the start of this football season, they knocked down all the stands. And they rushed to assure Bangor and John and Bapst, don't worry, the stands actually assemble very quickly. You're going to be in there and space for everybody, more than ever before. But they forgot to order the lights. And so the lights are on back order. Now, you know what I'm talking about. These lights are huge stanchions on back order. So guess who's playing all day games?
Bangor Bapst.
Either night games somewhere else, like Hudson, or day games. So that's kind of a blast from the past. that's what football was, right? Saturday afternoons and in the fall, and a lot of towns in New England, football afternoons. Well,
My husband was on that state championship in 65 on that team.
oh, great,
They're
yeah.
all big guys on this team.
Now, 65 is Mike Thomas's year. Right, do you know Mike Thomas? Was that
I
he?
don't know the name, just the
He was the athletic director here, so we got in 2008. He's moved down to Tennessee.
Is that Thomas or St. Thomas?
James
Mike Thomas.
Mike Thomas.
See the one for the state champions?
So what we'll do is we'll simply bend around literally on the other
Brian was on
side
that
of
team.
this basket.
Oh, he was he?
Yep. That'll bring you up to the floor.
Up top, like the 76. Right there.
Okay, I see it.
A quick story, I can recall doing a tour such as this 20 years ago. And there were two young girls that was part of their 50th reunion, giving them a tour of the building. And when we were upstairs in the auditorium waiting for the rest of their classmates to show up, one of the girls came up and said, "Can we get out to the gym?" I said, "Of course. Don't you know where it is?" He says, "Well, we know where it is. We think we know where it is, but we've never seen it." I said, "You spent how many years here?" 4 years. 4 years. Two girls, graduated from John Bapst, never set foot in the gym until their 50th class reunion. That was the first time. They came through the door over here on the girls' side. Oh, this is what it was all.
Well, your old office, when I moved in there, Joe, still have the intercom switches. You know what I'm talking about. They're taken off the wall, in a beautiful oak case, and a little door with a key. And when you read the extensions for all the rooms, you remember what some of those said? You know, you had the millinery room, and typing room.
Back when the building was constructed in 1928, it was a state of the art. And when they did it, they had an intercom system installed when the building was made. Bangor High School was built in the 1918 down on Howell Street. They didn't have an intercom system. They hadn't perfected it yet. But when it was fairly new, so I was told, when they built Bapst. So what would happen, you know, remember the clocks on the wall? They're all tied to the master clock, which is still standing there, still in the wall. It's no longer going tick-tock, tick-tock, because it's worn out. Anyway, if I or my predecessor or Mel sitting in the office wanted to talk with a teacher in a particular classroom, you find that room number, 207, Mr. Floyd, press the button, and you'd hear nothing, but in the room, the clock would go bzzz, be a buzzer, is part of the clock mechanism. Kids would, what's that all about? On the wall was a little hook and a little earpiece with a small piece of electric cord and a mouthpiece firmly attached to the wall. So the teacher would lift it up. As soon as you lift it up off the cradle, the connection was made to the office, put the earpiece up, and you talk to the wall. Say, "Mr. Floyd, is Mr. Maha awake?" "No, Mr. Garrett, he's still sleeping." All right?
Well, don't disturb him.
Don't disturb him. He's got a big, important game this afternoon or this evening, so he's going to be on his bed. That was the intercom system that we had here up until the late 60s when that fell into the state of disuse because it didn't function.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. Those were the days.
So one of you asked me about the building next door. The white house originally was a single-family home. The beautiful Greek revival was really quite unique. Is now a John Bapst dormitory for girls. You won't know it because we don't put big signs on dormitories these days that say to the general public, 16 beautiful girls live here. But we actually own several properties in the neighborhood, from Garmin down to next to the little Thai restaurant, the corner of State, and former Thomas Gould's, former Energy House, former all kinds of things. This house next door was built in 1837, one of the oldest remaining structures. Well, you know that if you know your history of this area, that is one of the oldest structures. The Pierce House, the boys' dorm down near the corner, 1851. Yeah, these are really, quite old. And then the big fire, of course, cleared lots for people. So that's why it's spotty through the neighborhood. You get a lot of houses that were erected after 1912. Was the fire? 1911. Erected after that. In the teens and the 20s, and that's kind of what gives banquets.
The house that the brothers used to live in, on French Street, is that still there?
Yes, it is. It was the people who owned it, after the brothers left, they converted it into apartments. And it's called The Brothers.
Really?
The Brothers Apartments.
Yeah. So which is that, Joe?
That would be on French Street, the next to the last building on the left before you go across State Street.
Okay.
Right in the middle of the hill.
On the way to the Norbert Dowd.
Next building would be Norbert Dowd, the Norbert X. Dowd building. First football coach, first athletic director, here, John Bapst.
Yeah.
If you want to know why we are purple and white and why we're called Crusaders, ask him where he went to college. He went to Holy Cross. Colors of Holy Cross, purple and white. Mascot, Holy Cross, Crusader.
So I got an email Wednesday from a girl of ours who is from, graduated in 2013. She's from far northwestern China, almost to the Kazakhstan border. Really cute, talented kid. And she said, "Dear Mr. Mackay, I'm here at Michigan State, and I'm so happy to tell you that now I'm going to be wearing Spartan green for the next 4 years. Thank you. Thanks to all the teachers. But I do have to tell you that when I walk on the campus and somebody passes me wearing purple," she said, "it makes me kind of sad." So I figure if a kid from Urumqi, China can say that, there must be something about this purple and white show. I guess Mr. Dowd knew something.
He did. To me, I love this story. We had a family that lived in Eddington. All the kids grew up. They went to John Bapst. And the oldest boy, David, when he left Bapst, or graduated from Bapst, he went off to a place called John Hopkins. And he's getting ready. He's nervous. It's start of the school year. Second week into the school, he's walking across the old part of the campus. And the older teacher is walking by there, and he looks over and says, I don't know what the guy did. I'm Mel Mackay, okay? Well, how do you do? How would you like it? Well, I'm just a freshman. I've only been here for 2 weeks. So he put an arm around him and said, "You come with me, I'm going to buy you some coffee." Well, they struck up a friendship. He found out later, after they had tied the company, that this guy was a Bapst graduate himself, had gone on to get his doctorate later in life, became a professor, and was the professor to have in your sophomore English class, because he was so good, so demanding, and had a reputation that he's tough, very, very tough. And the experience of the young kid that I knew, when he went and took that class the following year, he was just blown away. He thought he had some of the best teachers he ever had in his life here at John Bapst, until he hit that English teacher who was a Bapst graduate, John Hopkins.
That was the problem.
That was the problem. He has such a high standard, but he found someone that could put it up and up. And he was wearing his John Bapst jacket at the time, so that's why the professor knew. But he didn't say anything. He just said, "I'll buy you a cup of coffee." And
Sure. Well, I know you've been on your feet a while now. So Sea Dog party starts at 6, and if you get up there a little early, that's fine. If you have never been to that, you can't go all the way to Sea Dog and park there. You got to park short of it and then follow the crowd to the folk festival. So there's a little bit of a walk. You park as close as you can in the garage or on the street. And that's strictly a come-and-go casual thing. Come at 6, you can come at 8:30. Our wonderful folk festival, it goes through the evening and then Saturday and Sunday starting at noon. It's not a headliner kind of show. You're not going to see, Paul McCartney or, Vince Gill, because it's more the next tier of musicians, but they come from all around the country and around the world. It's a lot of fun. And we'll chaperone you up, so if you have any questions, you better ask Joe. He's got all the answers, but I'll do my best. Thanks for coming. It's great to see you all. This is the biggest of these tours I've done, Joe. It's